despite or because of, or in the light of, or in the darkness of, all that is going on in the world, continues to go on in the world, to have this moment to connect and remember our humanity and our connection to each other matters so much. I want to begin, because I realized I forgot last time, to call attention and focus upon particularly Israeli soldiers. There now have been almost 70, I think, soldiers who have lost their lives in fighting for the Jewish people. And this continues to be a horrific period, even in light of the return of hostages. But then hearing their stories is so heartbreaking. So I offer the Shema to connect us with the Israeli people, with Israeli soldiers, and to the unity that connects us all in loss and in grief. So if you would like, close your eyes, sit back, give yourself a moment of quiet and meditation. Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. These words were written into Torah scrolls. When I say scrolls, I mean the original individual scrolls that held different parts of what eventually becomes the Torah, going back at least 700 to 800 years before zero. So 700 to 800 years BCE. And these scrolls were collections of what we call the oral Torah, the oral law, the text that was passed down from generation to generation. And the book of Deuteronomy, as far as we know, was written in a later part of that period, before, in BCE. And in the book of Deuteronomy is the Shema. And these words, these 6 words, have been this incredibly important uniting liturgy that establishes, that identifies more than there is a God. rather, what it solidifies, what it focuses on, is this notion of there is one. And that word echad is so important. And that word Eloheinu is so important. Echad meaning one. Eloheinu meaning our El, our God. And it is really meant to be an invitation to all people, not to become Jewish. I mean, people are welcome to, but to connect with this notion of oneness. At the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, at the end of the year, at the beginning of our lives, the end of our lives, we are all part of this oneness. And the fable, the illusion, is the notion that we are truly, fundamentally separate. Now, we know we're separate, unique, distinct. We know where our bodies begin and end. But it's that oneness, that soulfulness, that we try to channel, try to focus upon, try to connect with, even when it's so very hard in a world of such disparateness, such division. But seeing you all together on one screen is a reminder to me that we can put everybody in one place for a moment. So let's invite those people in need of healing and wholeness into our prayers, into this moment. I invite you to write in their names into our chat so we can call them to mind. Individuals, groups. I want to particularly raise up those suffering, particularly in the Middle East, particularly in Israel, in Gaza. Those innocent civilians who are suffering with injury, with loss. And I offer a prayer for at the same time, I offer a prayer for the unbelievably difficult stalwartness that the state of Israel needs to channel to make it impossible for such an event as October 7th to ever happen again. We call all of them to mind, all people in need of healing. I invite you to look into the chat if you haven't and see those names. Read those names to yourselves as we offer the prayer for Misha Beirach. Misha Beirach Avoteinu Mekor Habracha Ve'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe Beirach Imoteinu Mekor Habracha Lavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please be sure, if you can, to join us tomorrow evening at First UU for Shabbat. Regular 6 o'clock Oneg 6:30 service. Kelly Dean and I will be leading. And then next Friday, if you haven't signed up yet, it's time. Now, sign up. Bring children, bring grandchildren, bring your neighbors, bring your friends, bring strangers, bring whoever you want. We're going to be celebrating Hanukkah and especially CSK Day. It will be 10 years and 2 days from the time of our founding. And as you will see in the e-letter that's coming out this afternoon, next Tuesday, and you are invited at 10 o'clock in the morning, is a Commissioner's Court. We're going to be receiving a proclamation from the Harris County Commissioners in honor of CSK. At 1:15, we are going to be at Houston City Council, where Councilwoman Abby Kamen and Mayor Turner will be presenting us with a CSK proclamation. And then I will also be receiving a congressional proclamation from Congresswoman Lizzie Fletcher that I will all present all of them next Friday night at our Murphish Shabbat service. So it's a lot going on. We are famous now. I'm sure we're going to be the biggest news in DC. But it's going to be a big week, a great week. Please sign up and join us for next Friday. Oh, and while I have her on, those of you who know, the Carol Pock is the chair of our effort to welcome this El Salvadoran immigrant family through Interfaith Ministries. And I understand they've moved in, they're getting settled, their kids are getting registered for school, they have furniture, they have a new life. And I thank especially Carol and Nancy and John Scheinman, who have played such an important role. Those of you who are on, there are others who do too. And Carol will share with us in more detail as we move forward the ways in which you can help out. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.